Aries. Welcome to Infinite Light. My name is Shawnee. Today I'm going to be doing a weekly postcard reading for you. For those of you guys who are new here, yes, I use postcards as a form of divination. Unique, I know. I've been collecting these postcards since I was like in middle school. There's over 200 in here. I counted. I finally counted. It took me a while to do that. So I use this to pull on your general energy for the week of November 17th through the 23rd. And then we will pull some tarot cards towards the end once I kind of get a gauge on what could be coming towards you, what you need to be aware of, or confirmation for you for the week of November 17th through the 23rd. Let's get some protection going on in here and some gratitude. Spirit, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for guiding me to this collective, and thank you for guiding them to us as well. Allow me to deliver a clear and concise and protected message to those watching. Should anything negative come up, immediately return it to sender. I don't want it on me. I don't want it in my household, and I don't want it on the viewer. So for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, let's see. So this is a general message, guys. I don't know what's going to come out. I have no pretext. I have no bias. My intention is just for your greatest and highest good. Now, as I'm shuffling the cards, postcards, if you see an image that kind of like sticks out to you, feel free to pause the video and take a screenshot and ask your spirit guides, what is that? What am I seeing? I can't see the cards. All of the images are facing you. I can only see the white of the postcards, and I keep shuffling until spirit says to stop. So for Aries, greatest and highest good, what is it that they need to know the week of the 17th through the 23rd? Right here, right here. Here we go. Oh, it's a cathedral. Look at that. You see that? So you get to tap into your own personal instincts, intuition. Immediately, what does this say to you? For me, I feel like you are, your energy is advancing through some sort of corridor, threshold. It's a transition period for your energy. And it makes a lot of sense because the Scorpio new moon is happening this week, the 19th or 20th, depending on where you're at in the world. And Scorpio, in this particular energy, is asking you to look real deep. Real deep. An elevated scorpionic energy, it has no fear of the dark, even the shadows within, because that energy knows that something has to go in order for new things to be presented themselves in your life. So listen, just have an awareness that you are going through an energetic portal, if you will, this week, an elevation, if you will. And so that means that stagnant energy that hasn't, stagnation means it hasn't been moved, it's been sedentary, might get stirred up. So you might start thinking about things that you just haven't given a space or a place for in a long time. Like things that maybe you've chosen to ignore within yourself or other people. Relationships tend to come up now in this Scorpio season as well. So there could be an evaluation of you, like how you present yourself in your relationships, how this relationship is presenting itself when you put it up against your personal goals and your values and, where you're at right now in your life. Is it matching where you want to go? Is it matching you now? Is there more that you want to invest into this relationship? It doesn't matter if it's a romantic relationship or otherwise. You start kind of, or you could potentially start in this energy evaluating, does this serve me anymore? Do I want to continue to invest in this, whatever it is? It can even be with the relationship with yourself. How am I treating myself? Am I doing myself a service or a disservice with these behaviors? And then if you actually hop on the energy of this Scorpio season, the Scorpio new moon, then you can start elevating yourself by creating changes in your behaviors in these relationships or with your relationship with yourself. So a very heavy transition period for you, Aries. It could oh wow, I just saw the number 24. I keep seeing the number 24. And then when I looked up, 515 was on the clock. So these could be confirmations for you. 24 is a 6, and the 6 is the Lover's card. So it can be very much you related to your soul contracts with soulmates right now. Now, soulmates, people get it confused all the time. Just because you're with the soulmate doesn't mean that that person is supposed to be with you from start to finish of your life. Like sometimes, and a lot of times, more often than not, soulmates have a season in your life. You could be grappling with that right now because I'm going on a tangent. What are you getting on about? I'm getting on about that you might be identifying in this week, wait, this was only meant to be from this stage to this stage in my life, but now I'm transitioning onto a different stage, so I don't think that this situation is meant to go. You might be coming to that realization. This was Cologne, Germany, that I got this card in, and so I went to Cologne somewhere between, because I've been to Germany so many times, and I cannot remember when exactly I went to Cologne because it was kind of like a side excursion. So it was either 2003 or 2005. So those dates can be, or that time frame could be very significant for you. That could be some things that happened in those times that are kind of like resurfacing themselves. Let's see, 2003, that's a 5. And 2005 is a 7. That's a 12. Perspective. Hangman energy. New perspective on relationships with the relationship you have with yourself and with other people coming up very heavily. And this isn't, I mean, so like we're also still in a Mercury retrograde right now. But this doesn't, I'm not necessarily seeing that there's somebody from your past coming up, though that could be a reality for you. I don't think that that's the focus. The focus is more so Spirit is saying, all right, we're elevating you. We're purging energy from you that no longer needs to be here. So what are your thoughts about this particular situation, about this particular connection? And when Spirit asks you a question, when the universe asks you a question, they want to answer. Because otherwise, you'll just keep mulling over it, and with no direction. And then at that point, you get analysis paralysis. So if essentially what I'm saying is, if you're getting a thought that's some sort of download from Spirit, okay, what do you want to do? How do you want to evaluate? How do you want to perceive this situation, this connection? Then answer it. That's a good question. Answer it like as if it was somebody talking to you. You can do it outwardly. You can do it in your journal, or you can just have a thought, allow the thought to process, essentially. That's a good question. All right, well, I haven't thought about this in a while, and it either triggered me when you brought it up, Spirit or universe, or it didn't trigger me, and that's interesting that finally it didn't trigger me. There could be a lot of thought processes like this. Let's see. What are we talking about for the Aries community? For the Aries greatest and highest good for November, 17th through the 23rd? What else might they see in their reality, please, Spirit? The Magician in the reverse. The 8 of Swords in the upright. The 3 of Wands in the reverse. And then the 8 of Wands in the reverse. This communication that I'm talking about, you have to understand this might not be with somebody else. You might not get the conversation that you want with somebody else. Closure in a situation might look different than how you originally imagined you would potentially get closure, with whatever the situation is. You could have also been that's just something that you should note. You could have also been working on something and it just wasn't giving the way that you thought that it would have given at this point, at this junction, if you will, given all of the effort that you've put into it. And the reason why that is because there's something that you might be doing, Aries, that is keeping you from advancing forward. There's something that you're not seeing. So we've got the Magician in the reverse, the Three of Wands in the reverse, and the Eight of Wands in the reverse. There's a lot of reversals on the table for you. And the only thing that's not reversed is self-imposed isolation and inertia. A lot of thoughts happening. You know what's so interesting? The download that I just got when I looked back at this Cathedral card is it's crazy how protected you are. And I don't even think that you realize it. Some of you guys could have recently had this about to get super woo-woo. So if you're tapped into your spirit team, then you'll know what I'm talking about. But some of you guys could have recently had a changing of the guard, if you will. So there's this notion that when you talk to your higher self, or you connect with your higher self, or the universe, or God, or angels, that sometimes as you advance in your life and you're starting to head towards different obstacles and different level of awareness and different levels of abundance, new people or new energies come in to take it from here. It's kind of like a high five or a handshake, like, all right, dude, I got it from here. I got the collective from here. You've done your part thus far. And so I'll take it for this next chapter. I do feel like there's a potential, some of you guys could have had a potential changing of the guard in your spirit team that's around you, whatever that looks like for you. Could be angels, could be higher level energies, could be your ancestors. Again, another side note for some of you guys. So that could be confirmation. If you felt in your meditation, for those who are highly spiritual and have ritual, if you felt in your meditation or you felt in your prayers, your ritual space, your altar space, like a different shift in energy, it's not just you, it is the energy that is around you. It's good. It's highly protective. I'm getting this like kind of like very heavily protective. Whoever and whatever this energy is like a guard dog, if you will. And that could be confirmation for some of you guys. For those of you all who are focusing on like your job, your career, some sort of like hobby that you're trying to monetize, if you will, there's two things that are popping out to me that are the exact same message. Lack of foresight with the Three of Wands, and poor planning with the Three of Wands in the reverse and the Magician in the reverse. So I really want to get some advice on that. And then also too, frustration is coming out because of the delays. So how can the Aries community take a look at things differently? Take off the bandana off their eyes, right? Take off the cover from their eyes and see things to where they can plan differently or start planning. I'm going to get a card here, the Four of Pentacles in the reverse, and then the Ace of Pentacles in the upright to get a little bit more clarification on the Three of Wands. Yeah, so listen, when you are investing yourself in something new, you're starting something from the ground up, the return on the investment is rarely immediately a success. And I talked about this for Aries 1414 on the clock. I talked about this for Aries sometime last week, I think, in a reading where I was saying like, you were meant to be hungry for it. So that it can get you out of an old state of mind. It wasn't meant to come easy for you. You weren't meant to be an overnight success for those who this message is. So that it would push you out of a comfort zone of maybe not being hungry enough or not being not taking the time to do more research, or not taking the time to tailor and curtail, or learning about tips and nuances and tricks. Because if you would, and I said this, I think last week, so this is a continuation, because if you were to have become like an immediate success or immediately win the lottery, then what would you have done? Would you have been as hungry? Would you have kept the momentum going, or would you have throttled back? Would you have seen the purpose? Would you have seen, some things like, let's say you would have made the success almost immediately, and then something down the road would have presented itself as a hiccup or a challenge. Would you have had the grit or the resolve or the fortitude to overcome that? Or would it really, really stop you dead in your tracks because it would have been something that you wouldn't have rehearsed for or prepared for, because all of this time you've been a success? Whereas you build grit and you build resiliency if you're hungry for more. You thirst for knowledge. Your algorithm changes on your social media and whatnot, because maybe then master classes start presenting themselves to you, or new gurus present themselves to you, or new mentors present themselves to you. You wouldn't have been looking at that before, potentially, if you would have got the success right away. The Magician in the reverse was clarified by the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. That's self-protection. So I'm getting a sense of an Aries that, you could be afraid of success. That could be it. And I realize that that's triggering. You could be afraid of being seen. And I realize that could be triggering for some of you guys as well. And, like they say, public speaking is like the number one most feared thing around the world. It's important in life to do things even when you are afraid, especially if it's something that you really want to do. It's important in life to understand that in order to see change in your reality, you have to change, and you got to get out of your comfort zone. It's important in life, if you want to see something drastically change for you, if you want to truly be winning, you've got to be willing to take a risk. What do they say? No risk, no reward. Let me get to you some advice. I hope that this helped with you guys energetically. It's kind of like all over the place, but it really depends on, your chart and what's being activated in your chart. But this is the end of 2025. And so I would expect for November and December to be really eye-opening in your behaviors, in your character, your values, your investment, both yourself and your money. Because essentially Spirit wants you to be ready. There's a readiness happening right now, the last 2 months, for blessings. You need to be ready for the blessings. There was a seed planted in you. There were thoughts planted in you. There will be this week, and those are there for a reason. Don't hide from them. Advice for Aries, please. Oh, look at that. The Empress in the upright as your advice. Thank you for the blessings, both seen and unseen. Oh, as soon as I say that, my dogs bark. I like to say that every single day, multiple times a day. Thank you for the blessings, both seen and unseen. Gratitude. Gratitude. Be grateful that you have that talent that sets you apart. Be grateful that you have that awareness that you might be getting downloads from Spirit, asking you questions about relationships and connections, and you're actually listening to them. Be grateful that there are, for some of you all, lovers presenting themselves in this season. Be grateful for that. Be grateful and have an understanding that as you start to manifest, sometimes the gift doesn't present itself the way that you think it's going to present itself right away. For example, those of you guys who are trying to manifest success in whatever endeavor it is that you are doing, you be grateful that it didn't come to you easily at the beginning, because now you've got testimony and you've got a word to preach or to share with other people that are later to follow in your footsteps and say, hey, you want me to give you some tips and some tricks to help you avoid the mistakes that I made when I first started? Wow, if I knew then the things that I know now, but imagine not learning anything and just receiving. It would be a dull blessing, a dull experience. So be grateful for that, but it's coming in. Energy is coming in to help you. Also, for those of you guys who resonated with the changing of the guard or adding of new spiritual beings around you to protect you, be grateful for that as well. It's coming in. The blessings are coming in. It just might look different, and it might, and it will, for a lot of you, require you to invest more in yourself and your day-to-day. All right, guys. Yay, I hope that you like that. If you did and you if you're not subscribed, guys, what are you waiting for? Honestly, I cannot wait to get 5,000 subscribers. I'm going to have, we're going to do membership with multiple levels of things that you can get, including like readings and whatnot, additional readings. Also, I've got something in the works that I cannot wait to share with you guys, but I don't want to unveil it until 5,000 followers. So if you're not followed, please, please, please consider subscribing. Definitely share this with anybody else that could benefit from this. And if you want to work with me, I offer one-on-one coaching. Take a look at the description box below. My services are listed on the Stand store. I go live on Tuesday afternoons or mornings, if you will, 11:30 a.m. Central Time, which is the same time zone as Chicago. We're doing love predictions in the energy of the Scorpio new moon. If I don't see you before then, I love you all. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Bye.